Hey, you all. Just some crazy things happening in the world all over the place, all kind of different situations. Uh, Good things, but then, some things that are really challenging. This one right here, 5-year-old boy dies in a hyperbaric chamber after the chamber exploded. And this is in Michigan, Troy, Michigan, just north of, right around the Detroit area. And so just reading this story, and the fire department, the police department, they couldn't really figure out yet why the child was in the chamber. He was there for treatment. The mom, she was standing by the chamber. That's horrible. She was standing by the chamber when it exploded. She suffered injuries to her arms, horrific, not just the injuries, but she watched as her child died. And so here's the thing right here, right there, that the reason that people use this in this particular setting, they figure that this is probably what it was right here in the story, that the child was in there because of possible tissue injuries, and they were trying to accelerate the healing with the oxygen. And this interview right here, I want you to take a look at, because this is exactly what we're trying to bring to market, and this accelerates the healing of tissue. Plastic surgeons are using this, and their patients are healing faster after the plastic surgery just by using this simple technology. You're going to find out, and I'm just going to show you a brief clip of this video, and then hope that you'll jump on board with the movement of just looking for something that is going to help people and change lives. Check it out.
All right. Happy New Year. Feliz Año Nuevo to all of you. It is January 2025. Wow. What do they say? Time flies when you're having fun. Of course, we want to welcome you to Real Talk with EVE here on this beautiful Sunday evening. I hope you all are well rested from the Christmas and the New Year's festivities with your loved ones. And so some of us actually prefer to have peace and quiet. And so that's how both Christmas and New Year's were. I'm just blessed to be here once again to bring you a great guest and more information. I'm all about solutions. I can talk about the problem, but there's a solution right there with it. And so I'm bringing back by popular demand, because I have been sharing about this wonderful product, but it's just not enough to share, not enough opportunities to share. And so I want to bring back this opportunity. The beginning of the year, we got to think about ourselves. We got to think about how do we love ourselves and how well do we take care of ourselves. And that's been an issue. I've been seeing that people wait until something happens in their health. They don't go see a dentist. They don't go see a doctor. And even if they're having symptoms, let's not do that to ourselves. Let's love ourselves some more this year so that we can love others more as well. And so this is Real Talk with EVE every Sunday at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. If you'd like to advertise your product and or service, please contact me 219-262-7009 or info@ethereallifestyle.com. I'll put that on the bottom of the screen as well. That's info@ethereallifestyle.com, and that's ETHREAL and then the word lifestyle. E the real stands for me. So without further ado, I'm going to bring up brother Charles Burns Jr. He's been here before, and I just want to thank him for coming on. He could be vacationing somewhere else, but he made time to come on Real Talk with EVE. Good evening, brother Charles. How are you?
Good evening, Sister Eve. Great, and Happy New Year,
Yes, happy New Year.
2025.
It's
Wow,
certainly
in
great.
1986, could you dream of 2025?
No.
It's like that's it, it was well they made movies about years like this, like it was the unattainable future.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, not too long ago, we were worrying about the K was that K
Oh,
two
Y2K. Yeah,
Y2K. I'm
that
saying
yeah,
backwards.
like the world
Y2K.
the world was going to end the year
Right.
2000.
And we're like, oh, the computers are gonna crash. Oh, it's coming to an end. Oh, and
Right.
here we are, 2025. My goodness, 25 years later. I
Only
hope
the Lord
order
knows the end.
I'm telling you, we shouldn't worry about what the future holds as long as we know who holds the future.
Absolutely.
It's awesome. Well, welcome back to Real Talk with
Thank
EVE.
you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we got some real talk to share. I mean, talk about products, talk about books, talk about amazing creations that were created for our lives to be better, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's just been an exciting uh, journey so far. And it is all about helping other people
Right.
maximize their quality of life, and from the spiritual and to the everyday things that people do. What can we do to increase someone's bottom line should be the focus. That's why we were put here on earth, to
Yeah.
rule in the place of gifting that God has given us, and not to rule over people but to rule over our gifting. And
Mhm.
what God told Abraham, I will bless you and bless you to be a blessing. So we're endeavoring to do that.
For sure, for sure. And we often, I shouldn't say we because I can't count me or you in it, but when we're ministering, when we're preaching, we always include ourselves, right? We say we, right?
Mhm.
So that no one feels like we're, something special. We're not, although in God's eyes, we're all special. And
Right.
so we tend to run on things, not realizing, is it going to help us or is it going to hurt us, right? We don't
Hmm.
ask many questions. Well, the doctor said, this is what I need. And we don't tend to ask questions because we're
Right.
concerned about our health. Although, I don't know if you've noticed in the Midwest and probably somewhere out there in this country, maybe in another country, I can speak of this country, that
Hmm.
just down a couple miles, you see a lot of medical facilities being open.
Oh yeah, and it's, what I think I've seen the most of. And I don't know, are we okay with calling them out? But the the
This
the
is real
dialysis
talk, Charles.
centers
The dialysis centers, cancer
everywhere, and
centers,
it's the
clinics.
one right across the street from another one, and they're run by different companies. But what all that is proof of, in the new hospitals, have you
Yes,
seen the new,
clinics,
like Crown
hospitals,
Point? They have
urgent centers.
a perfectly good hospital, and they erect a brand new one from the ground up, and I mean state of the art,
Yes,
because they're setting up
they're
for
setting
what
us up for what?
it's what they know. They're setting it up for all the sick people. They know,
There's
first of all, we have an aging population, right?
Come on now.
So we
We're
have
all
an aging
aging.
population,
Yes.
and then we have a population that doesn't treat themselves well. They don't do healthy things.
No.
And so the medical community, they know this, and it's smart. If you know that a trend is about to happen and you get ahead of it, well, you're going to win. You're
And
going
it's
to win.
profit.
So
Profit
you,
over
yeah, you
over
set up
health.
set up your souvenir shop outside the Bulls game, and you spend 3 days doing iron-ons, because after the game people are going to buy a shirt.
That's
And
right.
that's what the same thing with the prison systems and with the
Hmm.
education system. So
Exactly.
they build prisons based on what the third grade scores are, I believe I heard.
Exactly. Oh yeah, no, that is so true. And that's what I am adamant about telling educators. What are we doing it for our third graders? That's the grade that's so important, that will foretell their future, because they are building cells. That
Yeah.
prison, school to prison pipelines, people, y'all better look at that. This
Yeah.
is nothing but truth. And
And
so I say it's not the system, it's the people running the system. The system
it's
doesn't run on its own.
well, absolutely. And unfortunately, that can only happen when you have a population that is asleep.
That's right.
They want someone else to do things for them. I don't want to have to deal with that. I want them to take it. I want the government. When we vote, people are so passionate about politics. And don't get me wrong, we should be interested in politics. We should take a position, but the political structure should not decide if we're going to be moral. It shouldn't decide if we're just like you get bad news on the news, all of a sudden the economy crash because people let the news decide if they're going to go out and spend. They hold their money back, so it slows down the economy.
Yep.
People are led, and so the structure, the people who run the structure understand this, and we have to be a voice, especially when we have found our gifting. We found our gifting. We have to be a voice.
That's right.
To show people this is what you can do to empower yourself, and that's what we want to bring to the table.
Yep. And what's so sad about this is that people have been trained to think a certain way, to be a certain way, and I'm always advocating for let's teach our kids how to think for themselves.
Critical
because
thinkers.
It is their mind, critical thinking, yeah. That social, emotional, and conflict resolution. Even adults have problems with conflict resolution.
Well, because they weren't taught as children, and when they became adults, we expect all of a sudden it's like every other social phenomenon that we're dealing with. Slavery, you have people that come out of slavery as okay. Get a house, a yard. You lived in a shanty. A yard. Keep your yard. Look, well, you never had a yard, and you can't expect people to come out of trauma. Homeless people. You have. If someone comes back from the military, we take them through a process to transition them back into civilization because they dealt with trauma. Yeah, when they were in a theater of war, in the theater of battle, and we have to do that with people in general.
Yeah, and not just people that are in the military, but also people that have been in prison.
Yeah.
And I'm going to bring up a powerful interview coming up shortly. We just need to schedule.
I have something for that.
Oh, okay. Well, with that, the people that have been let out of prison and that are on probation, they're denying them mental health care. And I'm not going to blame the system. Again, I'm blaming those who are running the system in the state of Indiana, in the state of Illinois, and many others. And what's even worse,
national.
It's a total, it's like a plague. It's happening everywhere. And so these politicians, and you all know who you are, and if you feel some kind of way, that's you, not me. You're convicted. I hope that's what you're feeling.
I ain't running for nothing.
Me either. I'm running for the righteousness, the righteous path. That's what I'm running for. But you know what? Makes me wonder, what are you all doing to make sure that these inmates are treated with humanity while they're there? Well, and when they are released, they're given the services that they need, especially if they've been there 15, 20, 30 years.
This is the question. This is the question. First of all, how do we create an environment that, because we know we are products mainly of our environment. How do we shift environments? And then for people who are already in especially as far as incarceration, they're already in that situation. How do we end recidivism? And you first of all, you have to get into the heart where people are. You have to go to the place where their issues really are. And what we're doing, if it's prison, if we're talking about politics, if we're talking about healthcare, we deal with the surface stuff. We deal with symptoms, and we keep addressing symptoms. And addressing symptoms, it's because it feels like it's a immediate gratification.
Right. It's putting the Band-Aid on.
We think that's the fix, and it's not. We have to get into the heart of people, because even God doesn't want your activities and the words coming from your mouth when he doesn't have your heart.
That's
Love
right.
the Lord thy God first with your heart, then your mind, then your strength.
That's right.
And we have to get into a habit of trying to reach the heart of people and getting to the heart of matters,
That's
pulling
it.
things out from the root, uprooting
That's it.
things.
That's it. Getting to that root and seeing what's going on. And just yesterday, I was watching a movie, and it led me spiritually to share it. And shout out to all my educators that are doing righteous things for our students, for our youth.
Oh,
Uh,
horribly underpaid group. Horribly, they have to be a babysitter and try and teach. But
yeah,
and
but you also have some teachers that are not there for teaching for our students.
yeah,
I've
I
witnessed,
think it's become a battlefield, though. I,
I've
I think
witnessed.
I think you have some people who have checked out and they've given up trying because
Mhm.
our society presents a lot of
Mm,
issues that when the child gets to the school,
mm.
you have a lot of children that they're a handful, but they're dealing with a lot of things,
They
and
are.
we're not dealing with the root is shift the environment. You have to affect the culture in a community. Don't try and affect the culture when they get to school. Affect the culture at the grassroots level. That's what we've been, you and
No,
I, we've been talking about grassroots.
grassroots. And here's the thing, though. There's people that are there in the wrong place, wrong heart, wrong mindset. And so those are the ones that we need to like get rid of and place them somewhere else where they could be of services to whatever's
Right.
getting them.
Try and retool them
That's it.
and re first. And if the retooling and the re-educating them as far as how to be more sensitive to certain things doesn't work, then yes, then we need to transition them into other things. But the problem there is what put them in position in the first place was probably politics. It
Sounds like
had
a true Christian talking to me. Give them grace first. That's pretty much what you're saying, all in a nutshell.
well,
You know
you
what?
know,
What
I
put them
believe
in
we should.
place was someone that was there that hired them, and then you wonder 10 years later, it's like, how were they in the world hired
How
when
did they
their
get there?
qualifications weren't even for that position? I think
Yeah,
wrong, wrong
but
leadership.
we're going to end up turning this into a whole nother show. uh
It sure is. But you know what? This talks about the ground roots. So then back to where our children are going through, what we're instilling in them or not instilling in them. The movie's called Hope Lives, people. I encourage you to watch it. It touched my heart. It broke my heart because this happens for real. Because I
yeah,
have too personally been involved with students, with parents, with families, with educators myself. I'm not telling you what I read in a book or in a magazine or a newspaper articles. I'm walking that walk. I'm grassroots again. So we're going to talk about another different grassroots. You're talking about putting a band-aid on, thinking that it's fixed, right? We go to the doctor and they prescribed us 5 different medications because now we got hypertension, high cholesterol, diabetes, neuropathy. And then now you've got 4 different medications that they're going to need a few more to take care of the side effects of what those 4 are going to do. And we don't ask that many questions.
yeah. So let me let I'm going to try and uh I guess do that grace thing again and say it's so for the side effects. Let's say, just because I don't want people in our medical community to get mad at us and come back and they launch with a valid point. So let's qualify that there are side effects that are typical for some things, but side effects are possible side effects. So there are some people that may not necessarily experience a side effect, but there are a lot of people that experience side effects using pharmaceuticals. Let me say also, I'm not against doctors. Luke was a physician in the Bible. We
Yeah,
need
nothing
doctors.
wrong with
If I break the arm,
that. Yeah, yeah.
Eve, I'm not coming to see you with a broken arm or a broken collarbone. Or my wife Carrie is in there waiting with some stitch. Oh my goodness. But and maybe she'd do a good job, but I'm not going to trust that if I need to be stitched up. I'm going
Right.
to see the
You're going
doctor.
to the right person, right? First of all.
But there should be other things when other things are made available, especially things that are better for our body when we're talking about pharmaceuticals. things that are more in line with how God created our bodies in the first place. Those things we should put those things on blast. And I think about so many simple things that we've gotten testimonials about from a certain technology. And then we talk about it, we share it. And along the way, you have those people that, oh yeah, great, I'm on board, I'm coming in. But and then there are some other people that you would think, especially with the reach that they have, that they would want to get this into the community. And I'm not going to call out people right now, but I have some people in government that I've had some great meetings with, and they kind of chalk it up to, but I'm like, I'm not giving you hype. I'm giving you science. I'm giving you, I'm giving you something. There's published reports. To have a published medical report that's astounding. When you have a published medical report on something, and you still have someone sitting there, they'll watch the commercial with the pharmaceutical product that comes out, and the last three things they name when they tell you about the possible side effects, one of those things is death. The other thing is brain bleeds. And the person that they feature in the commercial is smiling and dancing, but they just told you, taking this for your, say, psoariasis. So it's for your psoriasis, but it could kill you. That's one of the possible side effects.
And they say that real fast. You notice that?
It could erode the wall of your stomach, but it's for your hair to grow back. You know, but do you think that they were able to launch that commercial without that product already being purchased on a large scale? The reason that they're able to launch that commercial during a primetime television show is because there are people that are buying it, even though it has those type of side effects. But now we have something, you let me know when I can put it up to the camera, but we have something that we've been sharing with people. And I mentioned to you, Sister Eve, you need to come and you need to share with people what your experience has been on two sides of this. Because it's something that, first of all, let's mention neuropathy. To deal with neuropathy, you have a kind of like a hit or miss if we go through conventional medicine. We have people, and now I'm not like making the claim that, oh, this will do this for your, but I'm just going to tell you what has happened from people that have used this technology that we're sharing. And after using this technology, have had the experience of their neuropathy, the effects of it being reversed, nerves growing back in their feet, insomnia is something I didn't know this until we did an event, and there was a medical community that was at a vendor's table behind us. You remember the event that we had in a nearby town here, and we were there, and they had a person from the sleep study department, I think it was, in that medical facility. And so they do sleep studies, people who deal with problems sleeping, insomnia, and other things. And they told me that there's no solution for insomnia. I didn't know that. But with that, you let me know when I can put it up to the camera. But with that, I shared this technology with someone, a pastor friend of mine. I shared a 3-day supply. He only used 1 day. He gave the other 2 days to his wife. And he was dealing with insomnia. So where it was a long time. And if you're dealing with insomnia, that doesn't mean that you lost 1 or 2 nights of sleep. That means you have a condition of not being able to sleep. And so dealing with insomnia, he used 1 day's worth of this technology. And for the next week, until he was able to buy it for himself, he only used it once. So 1 day. And after that, for a week, he was sleeping better. He found
used it 1 day. Did I hear you say used it 1 day and had
used it 1 day, and the effects from that allowed him to get sleep for the rest of the week when the rest of the week he wasn't using it. That one day did something to his system where, and so I'm just telling you the effects that he tried it. After he tried it, this is what he was experiencing. So am I saying that this is what did it? No, I'm saying his body healed itself. His body healed itself. And but
for people to know,
it just goes on and on and on and on. We have so many testimonials like this. And how many people do you know? And I'll let you count it. Do you know that over the past year that they were pretty young? I think you and I are young. You, I, and my wife Carrie, we're all the same age, or we're young. So
yes, we are.
With that, people in our age group that they're not here with us anymore, and maybe it was something like a heart attack. It was a stroke or something of that nature. We have something that's clinically proven, and this is something we can say because this is proven in a laboratory that it lowers blood pressure just by using this. How many people do you know who's taking blood pressure medication?
Ooh.
And how do you feel when you take blood pressure medication? I hear it's not a fun thing. Is that the one where you're I forget there's like a, I know there's one like a water pill. You got to constantly go to the bathroom, but there's something with the blood pressure pill.
Right.
But
chlorothiazide, hypertension pill. Then you got to get the water pill to go with that. I used to know all those names, Brother Charles, but.
So there it is. Be a Force team. There it is. Just go ahead and there's a link down in the bottom of this video, and you can join us. You can get on board. Either come in at core, at advanced, or come in at premium. Premium is if you know just scores of people that you know you're going to share this with, and you're ready to hit the ground running. Then you want to definitely get premium. And then after that, just leave your comment, and then we'll hook up, we'll connect, and then go from there and get you started. We will help you build, help you run, and help you win. All right. Bless you. God bless you.